Yo, what's good, YouTube? I appreciate you tuning back in. Before I get started on what I'm doing today in the garden, I just wanted to quickly show these planters that I picked up recently off of Instagram. So the difference with these is most planters you kind of have to, pull the whole plant up and disturb the roots when you pull it up. With these, they open from the side, so I think it kind of encourages you not to have to disturb the root ball whenever you open it, and also it encourages growing deeper roots just with the height of the planter. So I'm gonna see how it does. Most of the peppers have already sprouted, and I know it's because it's gotten a little warmer, and it's pepper sprout way easier and way faster whenever it's a warmer soil temperature. So I know that's why they sprouted so fast. So I should see how the roots look and how the results come out over the next couple of weeks once I end up opening it up and transplanting it outside. But I just wanted to show that because I thought it was pretty cool. But other than that, it's really a regular garden day. As you can see, I already have all my seedlings and my plants outside. I watered everything this morning, just waiting for the sun to fully come up. What I'm gonna do in today's video is something I've never done before. So I'm growing some blueberries. Just got them from the store. I'm gonna transplant them into some pots. So probably some pots similar to the ones like those lemon trees are in. All the way in the back and then right here up front as well too. But I'm gonna transplant them into some pots maybe for a year or two, and then put them in the ground once they grow a little bit more. But I've never done it before, so I'm gonna just flip the camera around real quick. I'll throw it on a tripod, show the ingredients that I'm using to make the soil, and then maybe I'll show somewhere in the yard where I think I'll be able to put the blueberries in the future. And then I'll just do like a quick time lapse of me, mixing the soil up, transplanting the blueberries into the pot, and then that should be pretty much everything that I do to wrap up the video. So let's go ahead and get into it. So before I get into the time lapse, I'm gonna just show the ingredients that I'm using. So of course I got the blueberry bushes, and they're real small right now. This is one right here, and then this is another. I think you typically need to have like 2 or more blueberry bushes near each other just so they can pollinate each other, so you can have as much fruit as possible. Like I said, I don't know a whole lot about blueberries and how to grow them, but just from what I read, that's pretty much what you need. And then I just got some compost here, perlite here, and then peat moss, some soil acidifier. So this is pretty much just sulfur, but it lowers the pH of the soil. It makes it more acid based. I know with blueberries, like I said, I don't know a whole lot about them, but I've done a little bit of research before. With the blueberries, I know that the soil's pH has to be way lower than a normal plant. So most plants like it to be slightly acidic, so somewhere between like 6.5 or right there at neutral at 7. But I read that with blueberries, they want to be real low, somewhere between like 4.5 to 5.5 on the pH scale. So I'll be adding some of this to the soil, and then this is just regular all-purpose plant food. On the instructions it says not to fertilize them until you see new growth, but you can already see how it's new growth on this one, and then it's a little bit of new growth on this one too. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of fertilizer, but just not a whole lot, so it doesn't burn the plant or stunt its growth or anything. So those are pretty much the ingredients I'm gonna use. Pretty much use those in a 1-1-1 ratio, and then I'll add the soil acidifier and the plant feed at a little bit of a smaller ratio, but just enough to make sure that the pH is correct and that I'm not overfeeding the plant. And then I'll probably test the pH in about a month or so to see what it is, and then I may just have to end up adding some more of this a little bit later to make sure the soil is at the right pH. So that pretty much wraps up the ingredients that I'm gonna use. I'm gonna throw it on the tripod now, and then kind of do a little time lapse and show how I mix the soil together and show how I plant them, and that should be it. So the recipe for the soil is real simple. It's just a 1-1-1 ratio of the peat moss, the perlite, and the compost as well. And then I added some soil acidifier and some plant feed that I showed earlier too. What I did when I mixed it was just add a little bit of water as I go. That way it stays moist, but I'm not soaking it. And then that way the roots don't drown or have any kind of root rot once I actually transplant it into the pot. the soil was all mixed together, I was able to take the blueberries out of the water. It's recommended that you don't let them soak for over 2 hours. I only let them soak for about 20 to 30 minutes. And then whenever I filled up the pot with soil, I filled it up about halfway while still putting the blueberry plant in, and then watered it, and then topped it off with a little bit more soil, then watered it one more time until it was pretty much filled and settled all the way. If you're interested in more updates and more videos, make sure to follow me on Instagram as well at Dejay's Garden. Alright, so here's what the final outcome looks like. Like I mentioned before, I haven't seen a whole lot of growth from them since I bought them from the store, but they have grown. They didn't have any kind of leaves whenever I first bought them, and then this one right here only has that one leaf right there. But what I'll do is over the next couple weeks, I'll just continue to water them whenever the soil gets dry, and see if there's anything to watch out for, like any type of disease or like fungus or pests or anything. And then I'll just give updates periodically as the growing season progresses. But this pretty much wraps up the video. If you want to see updates on this, make sure you subscribe to the channel and follow my Instagram right there as well too. But until next time, guys, peace.